Good morning, everyone. This is August's energy update via Archangel Metatron's energy, who is a being that I work with. And my name is Amanda Ellis of amandaellis.co.uk and Facebook page Angelic Celestial Colours. This video I actually made yesterday, but the sound quality wasn't very good. And so I thought, okay, maybe I'm not meant to make it today, and went down to the beach and then experienced something at the beach, which I will refer to in a minute because it's linked into what we're going to be talking about today, and one of the analogies that Metatron gave me yesterday for the state of the world, and he was talking about the sea. So we'll come to that in a minute, but I'm just looking at yesterday's paper, actually, which I was just reading over breakfast, and I'm realising that today, the date I make this video, August the 3rd, 2014, is actually a commemoration of the start of the First World War. And one of the titles that I was given for this video update about a week ago from Metatron was "Are We on Track?" And by that I'm really talking about the ascension process and the spiritual evolution of our planet, because it's very easy to think that we're not on track when you look around the world at all the horrors that are going on at the moment in many different places. In particular, some of the awful pictures that are coming out of Gaza in particular, as well as tragedies that have happened in July, such as the aeroplane crash over Ukraine, but there are many, many more things going on around the world. This is the headline that I was looking at this morning, and if you can see that, it says "How Darkness Descended Over Europe." And it's the picture of a man with a gas lamp, effectively. And I just want to read you a couple of lines from what I was reading over breakfast, because it really stimulated a few thoughts in my mind, and I felt as though Metatron was showing me this for a reason. So here we go. It says, "The lamps are going out all over Europe. We shall not see them lit again in our life." End of quote. In his 1925 memoirs, Sir Edward Grey said that he could not recall uttering this lament for Europe as he looked out from his office over St James's Park at dusk on August the 3rd, 1914. But these words have been attributed to the then Foreign Secretary ever since. And it says that tomorrow in London there's going to be an official service in Westminster Abbey, and the candles will be snuffed out one by one until only a burning oil lamp remains at the grave of the unknown warrior. At 11 p.m. that light will be extinguished, marking the exact time that the British Empire entered the war. And from 10 p.m. for an hour, the lights will go out at landmark sites across London, including the Houses of Parliament, and also further afield in the UK, Durham Cathedral, Blackpool Illuminations, and Liverpool's Liver Building, as an example. And I was just looking at that, really quite poignant picture as well, symbolising a light in the darkness. And I was thinking, my God, as a world, the state that we're in at the moment, we don't want to be snuffing out lights to commemorate darkness and atrocities that have happened before. It's really, and that's not to do with not remembering, but it's about amplifying the light that we have on this planet. And it really just feels as though, 1914, a long time ago, but has the world really changed very much? And so that's really what I want to address today, and I'm going to pose that to Metatron as a question. And I'd also like to get into the latter half of the video, which is going to be a heart activation exercise, which hopefully will help you all just to feel a little bit more grounded and secure and well throughout these coming weeks of August, because the world does feel quite volatile. I know I've said that before, but it's the truth. And we're seeing that volatility as well played out in our personal lives a lot as well. And I know that because I'm seeing it in my clients and also friends' lives as well. So let's get going, and I think what we will do is I just want to link into Metatron's energy, and we're going to pose the question, are we on track? I'm going to spray the purple plum essence, which I find very helpful for connecting into Metatron, although to be honest, all of the colour sprays that I use, which are behind me and are on my website for sale, I find all of them wonderful really for connecting into his energy, because it changes day by day, as colour is obviously all the colours of the rainbow. So let's just put this around me, and maybe you'd like to imagine that purple light coming down around you as well, as I just tune in to what he has to say today. Are we on track? In certain places around the world, it is clear to say and see that we are on track with the ascension process of this planet. There are communities springing up in different places around the world based on compassion and love and sharing. And there is a networking happening all over this world, linking like-minded people together, an ability to share ideas, share energy in the same way that I am sharing energy via this medium with you now. And this is positive and brings about seeds of hope, new beginnings, optimism and change. However, we know in the higher realms that for many of you, you feel unsettled at this time by events that are playing out across your world, where it is easy to only be able to see the dark and not the light. And the truth is, my energy is all about a light in the darkness, illuminating and bringing truth and healing to situations which seem hopeless. This year already, I've taken my energy into Belfast as an example, a city where there has been much trouble, much bloodshed, much violence and aggression over many, many years, going back many generations. And yet in this city, there is hope for a new beginning and the seeds of change that are being planted. Truly, this is inspirational. And yet you look round at other places in the world, and in particular within the Middle East at the moment, where the situation appears dire and hopeless. And I would like to give you the analogy of the sea. And I would like you to imagine your world just for one moment based on this element of the sea and of water. And very much like the sea can be changeable, and some days it can be calm and some days it can be quite violent in nature, so too your world seesaws between light and dark. There will come a time when there is better balance, but at the moment there is volatility as this seesaw of light and dark plays out. And I say to you, if you look at the surface of the sea, what you are witnessing at the moment and what is being reported in your media is the sea out of control. Huge crashing waves with huge ferocity and force and strength, crashing into anything that it meets, destructive, churned up, and very much like the sea when it is like this, bringing up the dregs from the bottom of the seabed and having a force and a power that is beyond comprehension. And this is unsettling to you that watches these events played out. You are, after all, made of water yourselves. And so if you liken the events in your world that are troublesome at the moment to the surface of the sea, that is destructive and choppy and fierce, I say to you, look also underneath. Look underneath the surface of the sea to the quieter depths below, because this is where the vast majority of humanity lie, in a more peaceful, settled place, awaiting for the storm to pass, And the truth is that the volume of the sea is so much greater than that which you see on the surface, which may appear in turmoil. But the majority of volume of the sea, the majority of the volume of humanity, has a seed within it that yearns for peace and stillness and connection to source. And it is as though you as a species and a humanity have gone into this void, which can be best understood by you as the depths of the sea, which are dark and mysterious. But actually there is nothing to fear from the intensity and the richness of the colour that you find there. From this void and from this stillness will come a new humanity and a new way forward. And if enough of you hold the space for this quiet stillness to permeate up from the depths to the higher layers and the surface of the sea, you will start to see change in this lifetime. Okay, that's sort of a refined channeling, I guess, of what he's been talking to me about for the last couple of days. And it's interesting because I did this video yesterday and then I went down to the sea, and it was interesting because it was a lovely sunny day here, but it was quite windy. And I went into the sea, didn't go in very deep, but it was quite stony underneath, and so it's quite easy to lose your footing. And I lost my footing, and the ferocity of the waves coming in were something I've never experienced before. And they literally knocked me off my feet, not once, but about 3 times, and actually lost my footing completely. And I had the waves going all the way over my head, and I swallowed some of the water, it went into my eyes. It was actually quite uncomfortable, a little bit frightening, because I don't like to not be in control. And so my husband had to help me out of the sea. And after that had happened, and I sat on the beach just sort of drying myself, I suddenly thought back to Metatron's analogy and symbolism that he's just talked to us about there, which is that when we are, as a species, as a world, in this time of great turmoil, and we can see on the surface that there is so much wrong at the moment, even though we know underneath change is happening and peace is there to be achieved. It just needs to rise to the surface. What we actually need in these times of turmoil is to actually take somebody else's hand, to actually reach out for support from each other. And also, of course, not just in our personal lives, but on the world stage as well, to actually reach out to people in trouble and to try to help in whatever way we can. So that feels like one message that is complete from what Metatron wanted to say today. I would like to just draw some cards now, and I've got a new oracle deck to play with today, which are rather beautiful, based on colour, of course. And I'm just going to shuffle them. I'm going to choose 3, and I'm just going to see what we pick, and we're going to ask Metatron for a summary of the energy coming up for all of us in August. So summing up the energy of August for us in our personal lives now, so taking it now to a personal level. Okay, so we've got 3 cards coming up. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and I'm not surprised to see the ones that have come up because they are the same that came up yesterday. We've got living your truth, we have ancient wisdom, and we have sunset, end of a cycle. First one, speaking or living your truth, I guess is self-explanatory, that we really need to be reaching into what it is that brings us joy in our life, what is true to us, let go of anything, anybody, any situations, any patterns that are not in alignment with our truth. We have to start living our truth. Ancient wisdom is something I'm going to talk about next. I'll put that one down for the moment. And sunset, end of a cycle. I think many people at the moment, if you look at that beautiful image, it's really lovely, isn't it? I think it's supposed to represent Glastonbury as well, with the sunset setting there over the Tor. And so many endings going on for so many people, some quite big endings as well, and some smaller, but affecting many, many different areas of life. But the whole thing is that if we get to the end of a cycle, there always has to be a new beginning. And so it's sort of with this beautiful sunset that we're seeing here, we know that actually we then go back into the void, but there will be a sunrise the following day. And actually 2 new sprays that I'm going to be developing, and to be honest, I thought would already be out by now, but it hasn't been obviously energetically the right time to bring them through yet, but is now, is the new Midnight Indigo spray, which replaces the Midnight Shadow spray, which, to be honest, is going to be quite linked into that sort of indigo void that Metatron was talking about in terms of the depths of the sea, where we can find peace, we can find stillness, but also we actually need to confront maybe realities that we have in our life and in our world. And the other one is called Sunrise, not sunset, sunrise. But really it's symbolic, obviously, of the sunshine and the light that comes in after having gone into that void. And hopefully for the world, that sunrise coming out onto the sea and making all of humanity a better place for all of us to be. I want to just turn now to this card, Ancient Wisdom, because this, I feel, Metatron is bringing to our attention. I'll just show you the colours, because the colours are rather beautiful with this one, aren't they? The pale blues, beautiful cornflower blue, I'd call that. The fuchsia, you see the fuchsia around the circle, that's linked into the solar plexus spray with Metatron. You've got that red centre, the sort of the real grounding energy, and you've also got the violets and the whites. Very beautiful mandala. These cards, by the way, are by a lady called Fiona Stolze. And they're available on her website, silkandart.com. And I just think they're rather beautiful. Anyway, back to Ancient Wisdom. Why does Metatron keep bringing that card to our attention? What's all that about? I feel it's linked into this. It's linked into the Merkaba. And actually, let me just get another one from behind me that's a darker colour, because I feel it will show up a little bit better on the website. Yeah, I think probably I've shown you these before, but let's just look at this one in particular. And actually this is quite symbolic as well, because it's black and white. Snowflake Obsidian, this one is. Merkaba is a 3-dimensional Star of David, effectively. Many ancient traditions have talked about this for many, many thousands of years. It's not new, but it always used to be quite secretive. It used to be information that was only available really in mystery school traditions. Dronvalo Melchizedek has done a lot of work in sort of bringing it to the masses. I think he would be the first to say that some of his teaching is quite male orientated, and there is a more feminine way forward. And with the Metatron energy, although it's a male energy, it's very much about linking into angelic light and love and helping this to activate around ourselves. So the Merkaba effectively is a 3D Star of David. That's the way to sort of understand it. It's made up of 2 linking tetrahedrons. One represents male energy, one represents female energy. And it's an electromagnetic field which is around you, it's around me, it's around every living thing. So an easy way to sort of try to think of it is sort of, it's not the aura, but it's sort of like an extension of the aura. You imagine yourself within this effectively, tied with your silver cord to earth by Archangel Sandalphon, and Archangel Metatron is the one that can flick the switch for this beautiful shape to energetically be around you. When you are within your Merkaba, you are safe and you are protected. And I think this is why I keep feeling that the Ancient Wisdom card is coming up, because now is a time for each of us to be remembering this, because as Dronvalo himself would say, now is the time to remember it. And Metatron is actually saying, okay, it's important that we use it. I do teach how to use this in my Metatron work, and I'm going to be putting more information on my website over the summer months about it, but it's something that I really teach within the Metatron attunements. I'm just going to tilt the camera up a little bit so you can see the Metatron picture above me. There we go. Can you actually see there that he's actually holding the earth in its own Merkaba? That is effectively what he's supposed to be holding there. So he's holding the earth and cradling it, keeping it safe In the same way, what he's offering to us is that if we remember that we are surrounded by this this three-dimensional electromagnetic field, which is our Merkaba, it's something that helps to keep us safe. And again, even a few years ago, people were quite funny about this sort of work and thought it was a little bit dangerous or scary. There's nothing scary about it. You know, you just have to link into Metatron and he enables it to happen in a safe, natural way. And believe you me, if you're not at the right level of vibration and light, it won't activate anyway. You have to be coming from an open heart, and you have to be at a place where you have really stepped into at least fourth dimensional consciousness, where you've left behind a lot of the drama and the mentality of sort of third dimensional thinking. Anyway, I don't want the Merkaba to take over this whole video because it easily could. I'd like now to go into a meditation just to link you back into your heart, to help center you and hopefully bring some peace in these times that we're in at the moment. So I think I'm going to use the lime green spray, which is here. Love the colour of this. And of course, lime contains both green and yellow. So it has the vibration of yellow, and yellow is about joy and happiness and sunshine. And that's why I just feel that the lime green is a really lovely colour to connect into with your heart. So maybe you'd just like to find a quiet space now and just sit back in your chair with your feet firmly planted on the earth and imagine your roots going down into Mother Earth. And I'm just going to take you through a gentle meditation to open up the chakras, but also to open your heart. Because when you have your heart center opened, you're able to connect into Metatron. And this is one of the questions that I keep getting asked over and over again. And apologies if I haven't been able to actually reply to each of you individually. But it's a common question, which is, how do I connect into Metatron? And the answer is, it's very simple. And you just have to connect in through your heart. So that's what we're going to do. So hopefully this will be an exercise for you to connect into his energy. Okay, so with your feet on the earth, feeling your roots going down into Mother Earth. I'd also now like you to imagine a very beautiful lime green energy coming in around you, and it's coming down from your crown. It's actually coming down from the higher chakras above your head. Those of you that are familiar with them, you can imagine them opening now. We're talking about the stellar gateway and the soul star. For those of you that are not familiar with these chakras, don't worry, just allow Metatron to open. Whichever energy centers are ready to activate and open above your crown. And we're certainly seeing the crown, the space just above the top of your head, starting to gently open, very much like the petals of a flower opening to receive the sunshine. And instead of receiving the sunshine, they're receiving light, but they're receiving this lime green ray of Metatron's love and healing for you right now. So I'd like you to imagine that you're breathing in the lime. And as you breathe it in, you're also releasing any tension from your body, letting go of anything you no longer need, knowing that this is a time for many of us where we're letting go of old situations, old ties, old things that no longer serve us, and we're welcoming in the new. And each time you're breathing in and you're visualizing and you're imagining lime green entering your body through your breath, you're bringing in that hope and that new beginnings, and on the out breath you're letting out the old. And as you take the lime green into your lungs, you can just feel it starting to revitalize that organ, and also spreading around your body wherever it needs to go. I'd also like you to imagine the lime green light now coming down through your crown, going over your head, going down your back of your neck, over your shoulders. Lime green, revitalizing light coming down over your body, relaxing your body, relaxing your shoulders, letting your burdens go, relaxing your arms and your elbows, your wrists, Feel that lime green energy going into each of your fingers and thumbs. Taking the lime green energy all the way down, the front of your body, the back of your body, into the third eye, into the throat, into the higher heart and the heart. Taking the lime green energy as it cleanses and revitalizes your body all the way down into your solar plexus, into your stomach, all the way down to the sacral chakra, the base of your spine, your base chakra. Taking it all the way down into your hips, into your thighs, down the backs of your legs, into your knees. Lime green energy flowing through you, cleaning and clarifying your body, all the way down to your ankles and your feet. Feeling your feet starting to tingle as that lime green energy meets the energy of the earth. And you may just like to imagine and visualize and feel this beautiful cleansing light now just pushing out into your aura as your whole body just responds to this ray of Metatron, which is about hope and new beginnings. And you are letting go anything that you no longer need. You are just allowing Metatron now to remove that from your body, and it is leaving via your feet. You might feel a pulling down of energy as that starts to leave. Just allow the process however long you need. And with Metatron, this tends to be quite quick, so I can feel the energy flowing through me. And so now I'd like you to turn attention to your heart. And we're allowing each chakra to open, Metatron almost coming in and just touching each individual chakra, knowing that the lime green has actually activated each one and opened each one. But we're turning particular attention to your heart. And at your heart, I'd like you to imagine another colour coming in now. And I'm reaching out for the pink, and I'm going to use the fuchsia pink that goes with the lime green. Feels a very lovely combination to have. And I'm spraying that now around me, and I'd like you to imagine a pink light going directly into your heart. You may actually want to put your hands onto your heart so you can feel Metatron's energy coming in via your hands, or you can just imagine that you're breathing in the pink light. This is quite a strong pink. It's a fuchsia pink light flowing into your heart and allowing it to open. And it's mixing with the lime green. These are colours that your heart is so comfortable with and finds so healing. And as your heart chakra opens, you are just able, firstly, to let go of anything that's held there in terms of emotional pain or hurt or betrayal. Just let go of anything you're able to let go of from your heart at this time. And as the lime green and the pink work their magic, we are allowing your heart center to receive the energy of Metatron at this time. And we'll just have a couple of moments of silence where you just allow Metatron's energy to flow into your heart, and all you have to do is be open to receive. And in that state, you may find that Metatron has a gift for you today. It could be a colour, a word, a crystal, a vibration. It could be anything. As his energy is with you, just notice what he is giving to you now and planting as a beautiful seed within your heart. And this is personal to you and what you need at this time. And he's saying it may be particularly relevant to people who are experiencing the end of a cycle. It's about something which is planting a seed of hope for a new future and a new beginning. See what he's giving you now. and then knowing that that is within you, he's actually putting the sign of a circle with a cross in gold and sealing that into your heart. Now know that that connection exists between you and him, and that any time that you want to talk to him, any time that you want to connect with him, you relax your body, you allow your vibration to let go of anything that's holding you back or is negative, and you just come from a place of love and just be open to receive what he wants to maybe give you, but also he's saying remember to talk to him also. It's a two-way thing. Okay, and then just bring your awareness back into this room and this place. I feel I want to draw a final card for us today because I don't know why, but I'm just being told to do that. So let's just see what we get. No doubt it will become obvious once I've pulled it. Okay. Follow your joy. You know, we had the end of a cycle, didn't we? We had speaking your truth, and I talked about joy. Follow your joy. And actually what he was just saying to me before I even pulled the card, if we go back to the start of our video and the picture that I showed you of the lights going out all over Europe in 1914, and then it's going to happen again tomorrow in London and different places in the UK, he's actually saying to us as a spiritual community here, please can we light a candle, because it's not about, we don't have to keep re-remembering dark times in our history. It is, and that's not about not respecting what has happened in the past. It's like anything. I have to explain this. He's saying, when I first trained in Metatron healing with a lady called Pippa Merivale in 2007, and I've since gone on to develop my own system, but it was through Pippa that I originally sort of found Metatron. When he first appeared to Pippa, the thing that Metatron said is you have to remove the story from the body. And by that it means that for true healing to happen at an individual level or a collective energy, you have to physically let go of the story for healing to happen. And so if you look at situations around the world at the moment, if you look at the situation, for example, in the Middle East, if enough people are able to let go of the story of their ancestors and what has happened and actually be ready to write a completely new chapter, that is when peace will happen in that land. And in the same way in our own lives, when we're able to lose the story from our body, energetically that we're holding on to, that is when we actually move forward. It doesn't mean we don't remember and we don't forget it, but it's about losing the energetic imprint that is negative, that is still held. And so therefore this exercise tomorrow, for example, of lights going out all over the place, isn't actually helpful because it's holding on to the story. And what we need to do is actually start a new story. And this new story is going to be about the need for candles to be lit tomorrow. And I would like each of you to maybe light a candle tomorrow. Well, it's today really. If you're watching this, it's the 3rd, but don't worry because time is not linear. Whenever you're watching this video, I would ask each of you on that evening that you watch this video to actually just light a candle for world peace and for a new story for humanity to be born based on love and compassion, and also for that new story to come into our own lives as well. I wish you blessings this August, and I hope you found that helpful. I'm going to do another video, probably won't be today, but it will be in the next couple of days, which is a meditation that I've refined about the inner child, and that I know quite a few people have found helpful already, and that will definitely be up on this YouTube page quite soon. I'm taking a few weeks off this August just to be with my family and my kids and take a holiday and recharge my own batteries. So I'll be back properly on my Facebook page in September. But until then, I wish you well. Any sprays that are needed, you can still keep ordering those. I can send those out, but I'm just having a little bit of a break from face-to-face client work for a bit. Anyway, sending you all lots of love. Speak again in September. Bye for now.